a minute. Okay, here we go.
Hey guys.
We're live. Hey everybody. I'm Julian with Sesameseed. I've got Stache here. We're gonna sit down, talk about some of what's going on with Eggies, the Seed Germinator project. We're gonna invite the community to participate as much as you guys can. Throw us your questions. I've got a couple here to get us started, but please, post whatever you want there. We're pretty excited to sit here and do this, be a part of this. It's about involving the community, and that's what this is all about, right? So,
yep.
All right. So, why don't you start off? Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Stache?
Stache, yeah. I'm from Holland, Amsterdam, and I moved to Spain 2 years ago. I've been a web developer and web designer for almost 10 years now. I'm 28. But I've noticed that when I was living in Holland, I worked a lot. I still work a lot, but back then, 24 hours a day almost. I didn't sleep, and if I wanted to go outside, it was raining. That's not good. So I moved to Malaga, Spain, and I love it over there. The sun is shining. Everything's there that I like, and I'm working good. My work production has been increasing, but I managed to get more sleep as well. So yeah, I'm from Amsterdam, and now I live in Spain. And I may move to California next year. Yeah.
All right. So what about Tron? What started that? What got you there?
It's kind of funny because I used to be all Litecoin back then. All Litecoin. I had pretty decent amount of it. But my second coin, or back then token, was Tron. And since then I got so attached to Tron and the community. So right now I'm almost all invested in Tron. I have a little bit of Bitcoin left, but I don't know. I mean, the community with Tron, it's always a blast. It's never boring. The people are great. And I didn't see that on Bitcoin or Litecoin.
Yeah.
Especially when Charlie sold back then. It wasn't good.
No, I feel you. Yeah, the community is just so active. It's just been a fantastic response. It's been great to be a part of. It really gives me a ton of energy. I know it does you too.
Oh yeah.
So, it's great. Regarding, I saw something out there about the soft cap. The soft cap has been reached. So this is an approved for funding project. This is approved. Green light, all steam ahead. Congratulations, man.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited for it. I believe it was funded within 2 or 3 days. I think the game is already in development, and it goes as planned. It goes so smooth, and I don't see any, impact where the game will be delayed.
Yeah.
I said end of the year, and I still think end of the year, but I most likely have something ready before, especially the rewards for the players. Because
it's great.
Yeah, because right now we are actually already staking for the players. So this pool of Tron is building up every day. We are just not distributing.
So just a little bit about that. That's where a lot of the rewards are being generated from, right? It's staking.
True. Yeah. So what we do is we vote for Sesameseed, and then we send it out back to the active players. So if your ACK is that, and it's that when you do not feed it for at least once per week. If you don't do that, it's that, and you need to send it to another wallet because every wallet has its own DNA, right?
Yeah.
And some people think it's random, but there's an algorithm behind. So you really need to have a little bit of luck as well to get the right egg, the right stats. But if you don't, you can just shape your monster, train it, make sure it's nurtured good.
Yeah.
And
well, it's great. It keeps people active. It keeps people a part of the blockchain, involved. It's really cool to see.
It's really cool. One of the coolest things about this game is you can tip any token out there.
Yeah.
to your monster. Any token will have a special effect. Any.
Yeah.
Even scam coins. I can exclude scam coins, but even those can be valuable at some point. It may not be a good idea, but you know, the possibilities are endless, and it's so freaking fun to see. You know, tipping a seed to your monster, and it actually eats it, and the power will increase of the monster. It's really amazing.
Oh, that's very cool. It's this is such a, you know, I've been watching this concept, and it's really sparked a lot of community involvement. It's really triggered so much there. So why don't you start by telling us a little bit about where did it come from? How did this originate?
I've been a gamer for all my life, I think. I used to play the Super Nintendo, the PlayStation. And when I was a little kid, I had one of those Tamagotchis. Can you remember that? In the 90s, I believe?
Sure.
And I can remember that every time I went to school, I had to leave my Tamagotchi at home, and I wanted my mother to take care of the Tamagotchi. If she didn't, it would die. And I would cry. I would literally cry if my Tamagotchi died. Yeah. So one of the elements is from Tamagotchi. I'm also a really fan of the Pokemon game series.
Sure.
Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
It's just one of the best RPGs for the Game Boy, and I'm gonna mix an element as well with battling.
Oh, that's
racing.
That's cool.
And you know, maybe even at collectibles, achievements, and maybe you catch other monsters.
Sure.
If the price is right, you know, you can do something, and you know,
that's pretty cool, man.
Are endless. So.
Oh yeah, it's so cool. That's really neat.
Yep.
We got a couple questions here coming in. So why don't we start with this one from Hegel Winter about who's working on this? Who's
okay?
What's the team like?
This is unlike other companies, right? Because you hear a lot of gaming companies have like 100+ people working on a game. This is different.
Yeah.
I'm going to be responsible for the game, for the development, for the visual effects and everything. Because I know if I take care of this game, it will be good. I'm sure of it. I'm confident it will be good.
Yeah.
I'll promise you that.
I think your work kind of speaks for itself, right?
Thank you so much. Yeah, but I do need to hire illustrators because I cannot draw. I just cannot draw. So I need to hire an illustrator, and I need to hire a sound engineer. You know, because sounds are really important to the game. Every time you change environment, it needs to hear a swoosh or whatever. The rain needs to be on point.
Well, that's really interesting because I've already seen some community outreach about that.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's sounding really good so far.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's really impressive how the community can help me out as well as saying feedback, giving me feedback, and I'll take it for consideration to implement it in the game.
Yeah.
It's awesome. You know, I have this huge idea, and I want to create this game, but I do need the help of the community in order to shape this game truly to a success.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I think that's kind of one of the parts that have been really successful here is you've really captured a lot of the community's attention. I'm seeing clans popping up. I'm seeing people coming up with some
that's real fun.
Outside communication. Some people are building on this game already, and you know, the energy I'm seeing from the outside is incredible. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what it's doing for you?
Oh man, it's unreal.
Yeah,
it's unreal. I've always wanted to create a game. I used to create games on the PlayStation 4, but I never released it because it's really difficult to get on the Sony PlayStation Network. Now with cryptocurrency and the Tron network, it's there. It's just reachable. I can do this. I got better since the years, and yeah, I can do that.
That's cool. That's pretty cool.
Let me see.
So let me take a look here.
About joining a clan. I really want to, but I cannot do that. I cannot join clans because it may feel rigged if that particular clan wins all the time. So I cannot do that.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that's all.
Yeah. Let me just skim through. Soft cap already reached.
Yeah.
Agree. Does anybody have some questions about the ICO acts and the difference about the seed act? And
Yeah, we should talk about that. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the seed egg, that whole concept?
So in the seed egg, if you invested 2.5K of seed in the seed germinator, you will receive equity.
Yeah,
and it's actually called equity, so it's quite funny.
Yeah.
So every time the game sells a potion,
yeah,
or someone feeds the monster, the game earns, and it goes back to everybody that holds equity. So if you're a true player, drop something in the seed germinator, so you own shares of it as well. It's like double dipping.
Yep.
The true difference between a normal egg and a seed egg is that it rewards seed instead of strong.
Sure.
And we all know seed is pretty valuable. So.
Yeah. And that makes sense, especially if you're using the voting mechanism of Tron to generate the rewards, and you're voting for Sesameseed, you're obviously going to be rewarded in seed.
Yep.
So it seems very sustainable as a model to do it that way. It's a pretty interesting incentive.
Also, keep in mind the skin of the monster will turn yellow and black, so it's quite impressive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
There's only 100 out there. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They went pretty quick. I saw.
Yeah, it's insane. Is this your first game building? I used to create PlayStation 4 games before.
Oh, this is a good one. Advertising. Have you thought about this?
Yeah. And speaking about that, it's more for investors.
Yeah.
It's more for investors because what we want to do is every week you have to feed your monster food, and it's not going to be expensive. Maybe 1 Tron, 2 Tron, I don't know. But you have to do that. If you just tip it tokens such as, you name it out there, it won't increase its health. It won't. You need to tip food from the game. Now, what I want to do is for big investors is that they, invest a pretty decent amount of seed germinator, and in reward, what we want to do is add the token to the current food menu.
Sure.
So it can be a seed milkshake or a seed cake.
Oh, that's cool.
So
that's really cool.
Yeah, so you tip 1 Tron to the game's wallet. It will recognize it's like a Sesameseed swap. We give back a seed.
Yeah.
And the game will translate it into a Sesameseed cake or seed cake.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, your token can actually be in the game, and people or players are forced to pick it out of the food menu.
Yeah,
so it's a really, really good way to raise awareness of your token.
Yeah,
and it will be valuable immediately.
Especially if you're coming in, you're trying to do your own token listing, ITO or ICO kind of thing, and you can put it into the game. It makes sense. Now, one of the things that I've noticed is how quickly the community's latched onto this. I think this could probably actually attract people into Tron. This is one of the first. Yeah, this is one of the first game concepts I've seen on Tron personally, especially at the scale. Yeah, and I think that you've had you've had some nice articles written about this, which is great to see. It's definitely going to drive people onto Tron specifically to your game. Yeah. What do you think about outreach to people that maybe aren't necessarily a part of Tron, that are people on other blockchains outside of the network, to bring them into this?
I think we should just promote as hard as we can, as a community, promote as hard as we can, because the more we talk about it, the more it will adopt, and the more it will reach.
Well, I mean, and this is why Twitter, social media, YouTube is so valuable. Is when you have a community as active as this one, they can go out there and they can really galvanize their support. They can go on Twitter, they can tweet about Eggies, they can show screenshots to their friends, talk about what they're doing, and really drive people on.
And I can't say it enough, but I really appreciate all the support out there. Keep doing that, and let's make the game one big success together. It's important.
That's great. Yeah. So I'm going to go through a couple of these questions here, because it seems like we've got a couple. What are you most excited for in the future?
For the game, or
yeah,
the game. probably just how it turns out.
Yeah.
How it turns out, because I'm pretty known for my speedy development, and I know some gaming companies out there, and you know who, that doesn't update their game or like once a week or once a month. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna update it every day.
Yeah.
I hear an idea and I think it's good. I'm gonna write the code and I'm gonna launch it.
That's great.
So it's gonna be a constant development, constant, and the updates will be insane. They will be really good. If you want something, poll community or a community poll, I mean, and it's in there.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That'll be really great. It'll be really great to see that kind of involvement.
Yeah.
It'll be great to see Eggies working with more of some of these organizations we've seen popping up within the Tron space, within the communities. So
Yeah.
that'll be really neat to see.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's cool.
Let me see. There was a question about if the Tron eggs aren't sold, are they burned or are they always going to be available?
Ooh.
This is a good one actually, because you know, if I burn those eggs, which I wanted to do, then I cannot obtain them anymore or get them back. I could reserve those eggs and create later, you know, after a year, special eggs, like an alien egg or a robotic egg, bionic egg, anything. You know, if I don't do that and all the eggs are sold, I probably need to issue more eggs if that is the case. I don't want to do that because I said 100,000, no more.
Mm-hmm.
But if we really want to have a generation 2, then I could always issue more eggs. But how it will work if there are more players than eggs, right? Because I hear this question a lot.
That's a good one.
So we're going to create a marketplace. And on this marketplace, you're able to sell your monster for a decent amount of Tron. And if you're saying, you know, there will be more players than 100,000, and what if no one sells? That's not possible. That's like saying no one wants to sell Tron. Mm-hmm. Everybody only wants to buy. That's not possible. There's always a demand.
Yeah, there is.
So just, you know, increase the price of a monster and it will sell.
Well, and what you're talking about here is, you know, future proofing your game.
Yeah.
You know, this is what you've done here, from at least from my perspective, is you've come up with a great foundation on which to build a fantastic game, and that foundation being the egg token, the unique features that apply to that, unique features that an individual can apply to that, such as attributes and etc. But what you're speaking to here is that not only will those attributes and features make for a very compelling game experience now, but that in the future they'll have all kinds of additional things to incorporate. A marketplace is very cool. Yeah, very cool. And I think that it's smart to really consider where this game could go, because, you know, we've seen other games similar to this, cat and dog related games that maybe don't have that kind of utility, you know. And
well, one thing what I always do is they add this breeding option. Yeah. So you have 2 monsters and it will get a 3rd one. I don't like that. It only devalues. What I want to do is you can combine eggs to make your monster or your egg more stronger. Perhaps the experience will be combined together or the stats will be combined together. Anything, but as long as it's a combination, combined. Mm-hmm. So that's what I wanted to do as well. So it's like contra of what others are doing. Yeah,
these are great concepts. These are excellent. So let's take a look at the board here and see what we've got. What
for the future development are you most excited for? Battle system, definitely the battle system. Will you be able to? Yeah. Well,
what about the gifting here to clan members? Are you going to be able to gift items to clan members?
Out of my personal pocket, or
I would think that I would think that they would mean from person to person. Like, how is that going to work?
Exchanging.
You know, like we're talking about these items.
Yeah, you can do that. I will issue certain tokens with, for example, a sword. You can, if you hold a sword as a token name or whatever, you can actually tip it to someone else, to another player, and it will hold the sword. Yeah.
So all of these assets are going to be tokenized, which means that any of the available ways to transit the tokens.
Well, what I do right now is actually pretty clever. Is the experience token? I send it to the player, and this token will hold information about your current stats and what you currently hold. Because we can actually add a comment to a transfer. So I can say experience token 10 of them, and in that comment I can say, okay, your monster is egg power 10, speed is 500. So I can make a save point, just like the PlayStation 1, the memory card.
Yeah, this is something that's pretty interesting about Tron, right? Is that you can use the hash and make it so that that hash is now associated with that comment, and it doesn't become a feature that can be transmitted to others. You couldn't. So even though you've got an experience token you received, if you were to send that to me, I wouldn't have your experience because the note would have been associated with the previous hash.
True, and also I will detect out of which wallet it came from.
Yeah.
So you cannot trick it or cheat it. You can.
It sounds like what about the database? Are you gonna have a database?
Yeah, I will, but it won't hold the information about the monster. So if my database is gone, the monsters can still generate because these are built up per transfer.
Yeah.
So for example, you feed it or you fed it meat, you can see it in there. So that means, okay, life is 100%. You received a poison. That means the monster is, ill. So it will actually build up along the transfers, and it will reset into the monster.
So you're talking about the contracts, the actual transactions that are on the wall. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
it sounds like you've really thought out ways to utilize as many features of the Tron blockchain as possible. That's cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything new?
We'll be advertising the game later on. Oh yeah, but we as community should do that together, I think. You mentioned there may be another reward for donations over 50K. Yeah, about that. What I wanted to do, and I'm not gonna follow that promotion again, and I really apologize for that. But let me explain what I wanted to do. I wanted to create this Eggies webpage with like 50 slots in there, and if you tip, for example, 20K of Tron, you would receive 1 egg for free, or you would receive an in-game item or anything, just an extra benefit apart from holding shares. I decided to stop this because it's gonna take 20 days to do that. It's not easy to create. I really want to spend those 20 days into the game, that I have maybe a workable demo, going around later on, definitely before end of the year. We can share it to the community, make videos of it, and it will reach certain people that can, distribute it further.
Yeah, I think this is a really compelling piece of this is the timeline, and I know just in being around you the last few days, I'm seeing you working on the game. I've seen some of the progress, and I know you've been great about sending these clips to the community and updating them on where it's at. So how does that seem to you? What are you thinking in regards to timeline?
The timeline. There's a roadmap. We have a roadmap, but we haven't shared it yet because we are still unsure of certain features, because it's getting shaped every day. If I give a roadmap now, it will be nothing like a month later. So, I can tell you that I'm working on a basic version first, where you're able to take care of your act and earn rewards. That's really important to me, that the player will earn rewards.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to kind of, that's a great target. That's a great first goal, a good target to aim for. Design wise, some of the functionality I've seen some of that. So that looks great as well.
Oh, it's gonna be even better now.
But rewards are great. I think we're gonna probably try and wrap this up here in the next few minutes. But if there's any further questions here, shoot them. I'm
just gonna answer real quick. Will there ever be another type of seed like eggs? Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about it. If the community really wants to, like an alien egg, we can talk about it. What part of future development? Okay, we had it. Will we be able to give? We had it. What if someone poisons your monster? How many times can it happen in one day? One day, one time per day. That's it, one time per day. And it's as simple as just feeding your monster one Tron or a special token. It's not expensive to cure. However, I need to explain this one because this is really important.
No, I hear you.
The thing is, I'm using Tron codes. For example, if you tip, if I would tip you one Tron, 0.2224445, then your monster will be poisoned. But you will receive the Tron.
Yeah.
So it's actually a benefit. And with the Tron received, you can cure your monster.
Yeah.
But it is mainly to target other players that you think that aren't active as much.
Sure.
And instead of feeding it once per week, you need to feed it once per 5 days. So the meter will just decrease. That's it. It's not like your monster will die or in one day. No.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be like that.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I think that sounds great. So I think that you have an announcement probably scheduled for following this.
Yeah, we're gonna share the investment plan right now, or in half an hour or in 10 minutes. Keep in mind, you will be rewarded in seed. So if you invest with Tron, the seed germinator, and the game does well, you will be rewarded in seed, which is extremely valuable, of course.
Yeah. Well,
keep that in
that
mind.
sounds important. That makes perfect sense. So that's great. I think the community loves to keep seeing that kind of information, that thought, that time and attention put in really goes a long way.
Yeah.
I think that they're probably enjoying this this AMA that we're having here. I think this is great. It's really great to show that kind of transparency to the community.
I agree.
So
it's important.
So yeah, I think I think that we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up there then.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much, Stache. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you taking the time. Cheers.
Thanks, man.
Great meeting you, man. So thank you, everybody. Thank you to the community, and look forward to doing this again.
Me too, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.